I'll say it one more time to you. Okay? I would never let Nick hire my next OC. Now, what I want to do also here is I want to get Zander's takeaway. So I want to hear him. Okay? So, all right, Z, let's bring it up here and see. And let me get your initial takeaway here on what you think of this here and what you think. Again, let me hear you on this here.
Yeah, Eagles have officially fired Kevin Patullo. I think it's worth noting right out of the gate, Silz, that it's being reported that the wording is specific here from Mike Garafolo. He tweets this: the phrasing is important here and in the Eagles statement, which we showed on the screen. I will show you all once more here on the channel. Kevin Patullo is not fired.
He's demoted.
There's a chance he could remain on Nick Sirianni's coaching staff, sources say. Now, that to me appears to be about Nick Sirianni wants to vouch for his guy, and he doesn't want him to go anywhere. But if the owner looks at this situation and says that's untenable, because we can all agree. I mean, somebody who gets demoted, it's not typically a good thing to keep them involved in the organization.
He's going to go back to being a passing game coordinator.
So that's what it looks like. They might keep him in the organization. I don't view that necessarily as a positive thing. You either got to cut bait or you got to leave him there. I mean, that's how I view it. But that's how it's being reported right now. But breaking news, Kevin Patullo is officially done as the Eagles offensive coordinator. And look, so I can already hear the excuses. Another new coordinator. Jalen, give Jalen time. He's had 14 and 10 years, whatever the hell the number is. I can already hear him now. And here it is. Ready? 2016, Jalen had Lane Kiffin as his offensive coordinator. 2017, Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator. 2018, Mike Loxley as his offensive coordinator. 2019 at Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley as his offensive coordinator. 2020, Doug Peterson. 2021, Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen. 2022, Shane Steichen. 2023, Brian Johnson. 2024, Kellen Moore. 2025, Kevin Patullo. And 2026 is yet to be determined. Let's see, Silz, if this now fixes the problem.
I already could tell that you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, I am being sarcastic. I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you Patullo was great, but that's a lot of change. I do agree it's hard for him to develop as a quarterback with this much change. But I don't view this as the fix that people think it is. I really don't. I mean, you got all these playmakers. The team has struggled to throw the ball consistently for the last 4 years, especially in the last 2 years. And another coordinator is fired. I mean, remember, they brought in a coordinator last year to fix this. They brought in a coordinator last year to fix the passing game. They ran it for 4 games and bailed on it and said it's not the right way to win. Now you're going to bring in another new offensive coordinator. I don't know who it's going to be. I said it yesterday, probably Todd Monken makes the most sense. But the biggest caveat there is I got to have a conversation with Jalen Hurts about what he wants to do. Because if it's true that he doesn't want to run anymore, well, that completely changes everything. So I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's not true, but we will figure it out.
Is it truth in your actions?
Meaning what?
Well, he ran less this year.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I mean, your actions speak louder than your words do, don't they? So to me, I mean, they made a cognizant effort of not running the ball more from the quarterback side of it. All right, Zander, do your
No, you're good. I can talk for about 10 minutes. I'm waiting for John. So, but I do have to run. I'm going to do a breaking news segment on the channel. This show won't go anywhere. Don't worry. This show will still air, but I just want to get the breaking news. We like to be first in JAKIB.
No, I got it. And then if you want, I'd like to have you come back because I like to talk Tomlin. Because I'd like to talk Tomlin a little bit too with you too.
Yeah, I'll come back on at 5.
Yeah.
But real quick, I mean, I can stick for a little bit here. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this setup with keeping him in the building. I'm really not.
for them to word it like that, it's already been predetermined he's being demoted. Nick's not making some stand, dude. He's not making a stand here. They already know what they're doing. They're demoting him, putting him back in his old role as a passing game coordinator, and then they're going to hire an OC like they did. But here's the difference. They're going out of the building, which means this. That's also a testament a little bit to what they're doing, what you said yesterday. They're going to clip Nick's wings a little bit here because now they're going to bring in a qualified guy like Kellen.
This is a tough needle to thread, this job, because you have to play a certain style of football. You know, the expectations are legitimately through the roof. Like, you know, if you don't have a top 10 offense or you don't, you know, go deep in the playoffs, you're going to get fired. So it's I don't think the job is as appealing as most think.
I don't either.
You know, it's a style that most coordinators, you know, don't have a background in. Like they were interviewing, they're talking about that guy from LA, Mike McDaniel.
Hey, Angelo, bye-bye, Bobo. He just texted me, folks.
Bye-bye, Bobo. I don't know. I think it's a tough job to thread, man. I really do. I don't think it's this simple. Really not that enticing of a job to me. A team that struggles to throw the ball with some of the best playmakers in the game consistently, you know, an aging offensive unit, obviously still a bunch of great talent, a quarterback that appears to have more demands now than ever. I mean, doesn't want to run the ball, but he's a dual threat quarterback, you know, doesn't really operate well in a high volume passing offense as we've seen over and over again. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a new offense? Is it going to be a variation of what they do?
No. A little bit of that, the last one. A little bit of that last one. I think they're going to change it up a little bit, but Zander, they're not going to. This is a Band-Aid. I mean, this is a Band-Aid, isn't it? This is nothing more than a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid, but like my question is what, you know, by the way, how funny is it the way they worded it? They put it out from Nick Sirianni. I don't believe that Nick Sirianni.
You don't even talk like that.
I don't even believe Nick Sirianni fully had to make this decision.
Mr. Word Salad, that came from him like that, right? Come on, Z. This thing, I tell you what, folks, if you thought your season was over, you're out of your minds.
Thing's just getting cooking.
The Eagles season just got cooked up again.
This thing is just getting cooking.
Dude, you got to love it, man. I just asked Angelo if he wants to come on for 10 minutes.
No, he'll love it.
Oh my God. I just asked him if he wants to come on. I don't know.
You're going to get Farsi. We got everybody now.
Yeah. And then, by the way, Thursday, I got Howard too coming up on Thursday. Oh, and I think we're getting Brian Dawkins finally. It's only taken me 100 years to get the guy. So what's next, Z? What's next?
I don't know what's next. Are they keeping him on the roster?
Yeah,
or on the staff?
Coaching staff. Yes, you're keeping him on the coaching staff.
So I don't know exactly what to make of it, but I really,
bro,
I don't think that this is going to be the fix that people think it is. I think people think you fire Kevin Patullo because he's the dumbest person in the world, apparently, and you're going to bring in a new OC, and all of a sudden the offense is going to look great.
I'm going to tell you.
Do you see it that way? I don't see it that way.
But I'm going to tell you something. January 13th at 3:45 Eastern Time, Philadelphia. Frank Reich does not want Kevin Patullo fired. It's one of his guys.
Well, Frank Reich coming in, I actually would like. It's a guy who's got so much experience with different
styles, work with Nick,
different styles,
and Jalen.
Yeah, understands Nick.
Bro, it's
I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I mean, I'm highly amused. I'll say that in the offseason, a highly amusing offseason ahead. I wonder, do you think Nick Sirianni's safe? Yeah, right.
Yeah. This year,
I'm looking at these tweets. I mean, let's
This
see
year.
Let's see if a local reporter has tweeted whether Kevin Patullo is coming back.
He's being demoted. He's not being fired. I told you that when we opened the show, before the show started. They're not firing him. Remember I told them before the show, they're demoting him. They're not firing him.
Oh, good to see Ike Reese with a common sense take. He says Kevin Patullo is a scapegoat if he's fired. Let's be honest. Kevin Patullo is a first-year offensive coordinator. He was supposed to take the 29th ranked passing offense and turn it into what exactly? Remember, everybody, they hired a passing game specialist coordinator a year ago, a guy who had 2 number 1 offenses in Dallas. They abandoned his offensive philosophy after 4 games. They abandoned it. They worked on it all summer. They abandoned it. The offensive line held an intervention.
My first time talking to all of you about this, I remember saying last year when they hired him, why'd you hire a guy with no experience?
I don't know why they hired. It was late in the process, so I do understand that perspective of it, but
there's no one else out there with any experience.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, somebody's out there, but who knows, man? Let's see what happens.
Press Taylor was out there.
I hope it works as much as people think it's going to work. Firing Kevin Patullo. You know, it's funny listening to John this morning. I was talking to John a little on the air and then off the record as well. Not off the record, just before the show started. And he's like, man, if you heard the players talk about Kevin Patullo, you would be shocked.
Well, then what does that tell you?
And I know what it tells me, but people don't want to hear the truth. People just want to believe what they want to, and that's fine. I do the same shit sometimes.
It's not Kevin Patullo's fault the offense fell on its face.
I mean, John told me Saquon Barkley loves Kevin Patullo. Devontae Smith did. A.J. Brown did.
Not a shocker.
The only one who I think appeared to dislike the coordinator was the quarterback.
It's the quarterback.
Yeah, he's the only one who took subtle shots at Kevin Patullo consistently.
Hey, and one thing on that whole thing with Kevin Patullo. So the final play of the game, Zander, am I under the belief that you had the Super Bowl MVP, you had Nick Sirianni with all his so-called experience, the guy you turned to make the final play of the game at 4th and 11 is the guy that had the least amount of experience in the entire huddle? That's the guy you ask advice to? Hey, dude, if I had a heart attack, I'm not asking some intern guy, hey, how should I get through this heart attack? I'm asking a doctor, aren't I? Yeah. I mean, you're asking him? The whole thing was flawed from the very beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows where they're going? It's Nick Sirianni's offense, you know. So if that, are they demoting Nick Sirianni? Yeah, not from head coach, but but from intern, you know,
from decision making now going forward on this
over the offense. You know, we wrote down a list of things.
You're back to 23 here when it comes to the hiring.
We wrote down a list of things this morning that need to be addressed in the Eagles offseason. I'll rattle off a couple of them to you here. Me and the chat did it on Zander time. All right, let me pull it up here. One was offensive coordinator. Okay, so we're now in the process of that. Second is Jalen Hurts' style and whether he wants to use his legs anymore. We got to figure that out, right? Because if you're hiring a coordinator, what's the advantage to a guy like Todd Monken or Cliff Kingsbury? It's that they work well with dual threats. They make RPO systems. They can make an offense around a dual threat. Well, if Jalen's not going to run anymore and Jalen's not going to be a dual threat anymore, then their value to me significantly diminishes. So
he had 60 less rushing attempts this year than he did any other year in the previous 4 years of quarterback. Yeah. Just put that out there.
The third one I put was head coach autonomy. Will it change? It means that last year when Nick wanted to get off of Kellen's system because he thought it wasn't going to work, which he probably was right about, they went on to win a Super Bowl when they went back to Nick's system. That's why I laugh. Like, a lot of people think Nick is a moron. And believe me, he's not my favorite coach, but he's the one who made the change back to this system that everybody now hates. And this is the system that ultimately resulted in the Eagles having a parade down Broad Street. Do people forget that?
Well, then why fire the coordinator then? If you're going to run the same shit.
Because the owner needs it. This owner does not. That's one thing I like about Jeffrey Lurie. He doesn't accept less than. But sometimes you move too quick.
But it's a meaningless hire. It's a meaningless fire. The only significant fire that you would have that would make a difference is firing the head coach, not the coordinator.
Everybody in the chat, Nick is a moron. I know. Nick is the one who made the decision that led this team to go on and win a Super Bowl. But because the offense doesn't perform, well enough for your liking, Nick is a moron. I mean, come on, guys. Do you give Jalen Hurts credit for his win-loss record? All right, then give it to Nick Sirianni too. Be consistent.
Okay, then you're also going to criticize him for having 2 coordinators fired in 3 years.
Absolutely. But what is the common denominator here? It's just a hard team to build an offense around.
Well, wait. Well, okay. Well, I'm okay. So if the guy doesn't hire the right coordinator, the team doesn't succeed.
No, they're running Nick's offense because that's what Nick has established is the best identity for them.
That's my problem with it, because when I watch Kyle Shanahan with lesser talent, when things aren't right, he's got answers to the puzzle. He's got answers, dude. There's no way. The answer is this: fire a guy. They don't do that shit in San Francisco. I mean, those guys figure it out, don't they? Here's what we figure out here. Fire the guy. He's no good. We got to figure another guy out, get him in here.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Patullo was great. But
he wasn't qualified.
I can understand, though. All right? All right, so this guy inherits a passing offense that's 29th overall in the NFL. Legitimately bottom 5 passing offense last year. Okay? The running game falls off a cliff because your $18 million center and your $21 million left guard are a shell of themselves and play about 50% up to the level of what they played last year. Your star Hall of Fame right tackle misses half of the season. Saquon Barkley, for whatever reason, whether it's him or the O-line, runs for 1,000 less yards this year than he did a year ago. And we're all sitting here and blaming one guy who doesn't even step on the field. It doesn't really make practical sense if you think about it.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody played worse. The passing offense got a little bit better than it did last year, and the running game fell off a cliff. And I'm supposed to sit here and berate the clipboard holder, who's running the same offense.
It's a meaningless fire.
Players got worse, though, man. Players didn't play as well.
Okay. It's a meaningless fire. It really means nothing. It's more for the people outside the building.
Oh, man.
By the way.
Oh, man, this is good.
It is.
So who are they going to hire?
By the way, I heard Brian Dable's name. Let me ask you this. How do you think he did with Daniel Jones, and how do you think he almost got Jackson Dart killed?
Yeah, I'm not in on that.
And Josh Allen was a turnover machine when he was up there, was he not?
Brian Dable was on the staff that benched Jalen. They're not bringing in Brian Dable.
Bringing that guy in.
They're not bringing him in. No.
And Todd Monken, guess where he's going? You think
Todd Monken? Where Harbaugh goes. I wonder if
Harbaugh goes.
Yeah.
How about Harbaugh to Pittsburgh?
Impossible. Funny, he cracked up. He's like, how would that be? How funny would that be? And then we'd need John to go to Pittsburgh. He said that. Bashadi, whatever his name is.
I was kind of kidding when I brought that up. That thing may actually happen here. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to have any? Do you think Jalen Hurts had any say in Patullo being canned, or do you think that was an internal decision?
No. I mean, look, he didn't live up to his expectations. They didn't live up to it. So somebody's going to get scapegoated. It's a lot easier to scapegoat a first-year coordinator than it is somebody who's making $20 million or $30 million or $50 million, and have no trade clauses, and you can't move on from them. So I get why they did it. I'm not saying they shouldn't have fired him. They should have fired him. He wasn't great, but I think the problems are so much bigger than this on offense that, to me, until we figure out what the direction of the team is going to be, I don't know that we have the fix.
Well, here, I want to ask you this. Do you think it's compatible, Zander, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua? Do you think those duos are kind of in the room together a little bit? You think those guys are in the room?
I think they were, yeah. I don't know about
okay. Then why don't the Eagles run that offense?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's style. Style's a quarterback for sure. To me, it's not that hard. To me, it's like really obvious. But if
you got all the so-called talent, don't you run Don't you run a spread offense like you see?
Pumper. Let's what Pumper says. He says my logic doesn't make sense. Xander, that logic doesn't make sense. He was the passing game coordinator. It's built in his title. Come on, man. And who's the one passing the football, Pump?
It's the quarterback. This all goes back to Jalen. This all goes back to him. Why is it so hard for that, man?
To me, the biggest question needs to be answered by Jalen. Who are you trying to become? Are you done running? Is this real? Was this report earlier in the year that you no longer want to run? Was that a real report, or was that simply the offense that they had you running? Because if you don't want to run anymore, that's going to completely change about who we're going to hire, right?
Yeah. Look at this one here. Hurts clearly is. Go ahead, Z.
Hurts clearly is striving to become a better quarterback and passer, evidenced by him picking up protections, beating the blitz in his offseason work. Question is, would you guys settle for a 10-win year for growth in a 26 pro-style offense? I don't know if it's that simple, my guy.
It's
because
not.
If it was that simple and you get to the other side and you can then improve from there, then maybe. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts is going to be 28 years old next year. Like, I know you continue to get better. I'm not saying you don't continue to get better, but your skill set is kind of your skill set. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can get better.
You get smarter.
You can get better at your skill set, but you're not going to, create a new skill set. That's kind of how
you're going to get smarter on knowing what to do.
Yeah, but I heard a clip from Brady today. He's like, I was okay at 25. I was good at 35. I was great at 45. But he evolved his skill set. I don't think he became something he wasn't.
Do you think if Jalen Hurts didn't have that no trade in his contract, that they would move on from him if he fails next year?
No, probably not. Probably not. Not yet. I mean, if they bring in another new coordinator and it's the same thing like next year and they're unable to, if the offense is the problem again, then I think you're probably going to have an even crazier offseason where the coach, head coach, quarterback, probably everyone's like on the hot seat.
What if you miss the playoffs next year?
I don't think they will. They got.
I'm just saying what I didn't think you'd lose to San Francisco either.
It's fair. If they miss the playoffs, then yeah, it's going to get blown up. But I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. But if they did, yeah, it would get blown up.
So without AJ and potentially Lane and without Goddard, they're going to get better on offense?
Website coordinator. All right, I got to run. I'll be back. All right, I got to run. I got to do the breaking news.
And we'll read all the supers, okay? Because we got a ton of them rolling in. I promise.
All right, sounds good. All right.
Don't forget, Farzetta's going to join us.
Give a good breakdown, Silz, on that or reaction, and I'll post it up on the channel. All right.
I got you, man. Appreciate it. All right. Here, guys. One more time. Firing Kevin Patullo is a meaningless fire. If you're not going to change style of play, it really doesn't matter who you fire, who you're bringing in. You're going to bring in another guy to run Nick's system because they don't believe in the quarterback. They're just not. This is a superficial fix. This is not a fix that's going to create anything that's going to be a change in direction. If dual threat doesn't run, he's done. Agreed. Hurts for Herbert. Never happened. Jim Harbaugh would never trade Justin Herbert for Jalen Hurts. It's not happening. Justin Herbert is a skilled player. Hey, the supers that came during our small segment, we will read them again at 5 o'clock. Okay, Farzetta's going to join us at 4:30. We're going to get his takeaways too. This dude has misfortune. We're going to read them. I promise you. Okay? Okay, we will read them. Don't worry, guy. Frank Reich. Nick Foles thinks Hurts can be a good passing quarterback. He needs to have more input on what is being called. Well, why haven't they done that then? Silz, this only makes sense if Nick goes too.